Well, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's an early chat with Al. We have a cup of coffee. We're going to see what we added to our collection for sports memorabilia and see how the FOC is doing. What's going on? How is your gaming going? How's everything else going? Hope all is well as always. I do enjoy coffee. Alrighty. So I've been in a mode lately of wanting to get things that I always wanted when I was young. Now I'm old. So I have some ability to get those things. Now I'm not crazy. I don't buy the most expensive things, but we've added to our sports memorabilia collection, mostly cards, and things I like to look at that make me happy besides my loving wife and family and friends and kitty cat Eileen and Jax the dog, Captain Fantastic. So, as midlife crisis says, it sounds like a midlife crisis. Well, it could be. Not really, though. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. Steeler fan, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. And Bernard Strom, thank you. Bernard got me started, actually. He was very kind. And he had sent me a little while back, and I've showed it off before. It's a beautiful card. 1964 rookie stars for the Red Sox, Canigliaro and Spanswick. So Bernard got me started. It's his fault. We love Bernard. Check out his channel. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll get Bernard on for a chat one of these days. Hopefully so. Greg Gorecki, good morning. Our good friend from the Great White North. Hope all is well in Canada. Golden Eagle 99 matchmaker extraordinaire. No, I don't need a Corvette and I don't need a mistress. I got my loving wife, Nurse Teresa, who's at the casino winning booyah. So I can support my habit. No, I'm kidding. But she's at the casino playing bingo, playing a little slots. I stayed home. All right, so let's start off just stuff I like to collect. So we added a new football helmet. I think I'm done with football helmets now for a little while. This is, I think I have all the versions of the Redskins helmet now, except the very old one. This is the yellow version. Really sweet helmet. So that's really cool. I'm happy about that. Why these things make me happy, I don't know, but they make me happy. Again, not happier than my wife and my family and friends, but they make me happy. Pops Reviews joined us. Hope all is well. Check out his wonderful channel. Our good friend Chris, who has a beautiful singing voice, by the way. Check out his channel. He's playing a war game the other day. I got to check that out. Chris, are you at work? Hopefully you have a good work day and beyond. As he says, just stepped outside and wanted to say, hey, have a good weekend. You too, my friend. Hello to Alex. Michael, Canastari. How you doing, my friend? As Michael says, good morning, Al. Packing for PlayCon in Denver next week. Awesome sauce. Greg Gorecki. Speaking of football, the Argonauts have started the season 5-0 for the first time since Tobin Rote was their quarterback. Tobin Rote also quarterbacked the San Diego Chargers of the AFL, I do believe. Bobby Cantalano. Hope all is well to our good friend from Florida, as Bobby says hello to everybody. All right. So again, we picked up our football helmets. I picked up a few more football helmets. Like I said, I'm done. Some of those collections were pretty cheap in my opinion, so I picked them up. I've learned to haggle better. People are willing to sell it. They're willing to sell it for less. And Greg Gorecki, our friend from Canada, says Tobin Rote also the Detroit Lions in their last NFL title. Oh, very cool. I did not know that. All right, so let's start off again. You guys know some of my favorite athletes. You know I like OJ. You know I have some OJ memorabilia. Let's show those cards off again. We have the helmet. I'm not going to pull that out, autographed helmet. But, you know, we got the OJ cards. We love OJ. Nothing you haven't seen before. So, you know I like OJ a lot. So, again, we've shown these. That one was $5. That was at a collection store. And this one is from our good friend, MP Fox. I have to find something to send to him. I think I know what I'm going to get for him. So, and I got to send something to Mr. Bernard Strom and some other people. All right. Anyway, so those, you know I like OJ. But I picked up some really, really, again, inexpensive stuff. RJL Network, check out his wonderful channel. W Vogs, check out his wonderful channel. Ben Crowbeard Fletton, a big-time Glory Days boxing fan. He likes the old stuff. Good. I love reading your stuff in the Glory Days Sports Facebook group page. So, if you followed my channel, you know I love Wilt Chamberlain. And this is a Panini or something like that. I forgot what this card is called. But I love Wilt the Stilt. It's a beautiful card. It's a... I'm going to look here. What is this one? It's no, this Prism. Prism, that's what it is. Prism, sorry. This is a Prism. Okay. And again, Wilt Chamberlain, got my eye. What I want to do with Wilt Chamberlain, so I have a Lakers card. I want to get a Warriors card, a Sixers card. And I think there's actually an ABA San Diego Conquistador coach's card, I think. And if I can get them cheap, you know, what I consider, again, these are not for resale. You know, I'm not selling these things. These are things that make me happy. So Wilt Chamberlain, Prism card. STG Replays, how you doing? Check out his channel. RJL Network, maybe coming to Boston in June 24 and maybe going to see the Yanks and the Red Sox at Fenway, trying to get Steve Tower to join us. And it would be awesome if you could join us as well. Well, that's very cool. We'll see. We'll see how life treats us all. And hopefully you get there and you will. So again, Wilt Chamberlain, love Wilt Chamberlain, and I have lots of favorite basketball players. Love Larry Bird, man, Julius Erving cards are expensive, so we backed away from those. Love Larry Bird, love Bernard King, love lots of players. Those are the ones I'm looking for. Hondo, Havlicek, you know, things like that. If they come up reasonable, I'll add them to my collection. So Wilt Chamberlain, love Wilt the Still. To me, he's the GOAT, best ever. My opinion. Chamberlain was my favorite player as a kid. This is Michael kind of story, by the way. And shot my foul shots underhanded like him. Big Sixers fan back then. Well, I'm not a Sixers fan. I'm not a Lakers fan. Not a Warriors fan. But I am a Wilt Chamberlain fan. My friends met. I was sick. I'm so... Springfield has the Basketball Hall of Fame. He was there. He'd go there for the Hall of Fame ceremonies. My friends met him. My brother met him. My relatives met him. Said one of the nicest people you could ever meet. And they met him outside the Hall of Fame ceremony settings. One of the nicest people you could ever meet. That's all Greg Gorecki, I have a Wilt 76ers card and Lakers card to go with my Jerry. Oh, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Oh, I'd like to get those guys. But again, you got to build. You can go nuts trying to collect cards. So I'm like, okay, I got to tone it down and let's attack these things when I can, within reason, when possible. Don't go after everything. Greg Gorecki, Wilt was the GOAT without question. Absolutely. If I'm starting a basketball team, I'm starting with Wilt Chamberlain. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Golden Eagle 99. Shout out to Wilt the Still. I love Larry Bird. I love Bernard King, Magic Johnson. I love them all. And I have to see what cards I have, too, because I have cards back there in that, and I got to pull them back out and look at that. Okay. Another awesome athlete. He made the sport popular to, in my opinion, from what I heard, and I saw him at the end of his career, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I was happy to see him. Made the sport of golf, in my opinion, from reading and seeing and listening to my family and friends. Popular with the everyday American. The great one, Arnold Palmer. This is really cool. I didn't even know they had golf cards. And these are, I believe these are tops. These are, they came out in 96, I believe. Oh, 93. I'm sorry. It says right at the bottom. 93 Grand Slam venues. Really nice card. Arnold Palmer, he just made a putt. Handsome fella, isn't he? Always smiling. And this is from the 1962 Masters, in which he beat, in a playoff, Gary Player and Dow Fezerwald. I believe we have, we got to get our play History Maker Golf. We have Dowd Fezerwald. I kind of remember that name. And we're going to get back to that tournament soon. So, yes. Very excited about this. I might add, they had a lot of these different years for Arnold Palmer, but I love this. I love this photo on the card of him making the putt and going, you know, he's happy. He made golf popular, mega popular with the average American. Very wonderful person. Did lots of nice things. Arnold Palmer. He's right up there with Wilt. These are goats to me. There we go. I love these guys. Love these guys. Love these guys. Let's get back to the chat real quick. Golden Eagle. So what was Wilt Chamberlain's vertical? Anybody know? Very good. That's all it was. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know any of that stuff. I know what he did. I've seen highlights. And again, they'll say, some people will say about Wilt, well, he didn't play against the tallest guys. Or, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. He played against some of the toughest guys who basically beat on him. They would rotate guys. Tremendous player. People go, oh, I'd take Russell. Bill Russell, great player. You put Wilt Chamberlain on the Celtics, they win just as many championships. No knock against Bill Russell. He's the better player. Wilt Chamberlain. That's just me. You know, I'm a Red Sox fan. Well, I'm a Knicks. In the day when they had Bernard King, I was more of a Knicks fan than Celtics fan, though I rooted for both. Greg Gorecki said, I met Wilt in both the 70s and 80s. Wilt moved to Toronto in the mid-80s when Toronto was trying to get an NBA team in which Wilt would have been part owner. Unfortunately, Minnesota got them. Oh, that's too bad. That would have been cool. Arnold Hunter, how you doing? Good morning, my friend. Arnold likes the chats with Al. Excuse me. Speak of the English, Al. Have some more coffee. We're a little early today with the chat. James Worthy is SDG Replays favorite. Went to the same high school. Greg Gorecki says, Wilt, vertical 40 inches. Greg Gorecki. Wilt played against more Hall of Fame centers than any player in history. I love Wilt. And again, the knock on players from past eras, oh, they can't play now. Sure they can. They would probably excel even more. And I'm not saying that players from this era couldn't play in past eras, but it was a more physical game. If you think LeBron James is going to go to the hoop or any of these players now, European players or whoever, going to go to the hoop, going to dunk and do this, yeah, you're going to get undercut. You're going to get your leg broke most likely. I'm exaggerating slightly, but that you don't even have to go back to the 60s. And again, I wasn't alive to watch basketball in the 60s. I was born later in the decade. But go back to the 80s. You do that against the Celtics, they're going to cream you. You do that against the Sixers, they're going to cream you. You do that again when Charles Barkley, I got to get a Charles Barkley card. Another one of my favorite athletes. Shaq also. They're fun to listen to. They're a few of the broadcasters or in in-studio people for any sport that I still enjoy listening to. You know why? Because they keep it real and they talk about the sport. They're not PC. They speak from their heart. PC, one of the worst things that ever happened in the world. Again, shouldn't be rude to people, but you should be able to have differences of opinion. All right, enough of that. DJ John 4444. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. Happy Saturday and beyond to one and all. Again, one of my all-time favorite players. When we played street hockey, when we scored a goal, and we would say, score number 4, Bobby Orr, if around the pond. Bobby Orr. Beautiful card. Again, little wrinkled at the top. Who cares? I don't care. I got it very cheap, in my opinion. 1974-75, Bobby Orr. Played in 80 games. 46 goals, 89 assists, 135 points, penalty minutes 101. Bobby Orr up there, a GOAT in my book, a GOAT. Bobby Orr could fight, he could play hockey, he could do it all, and he was a gentleman, still beloved, and was screwed by his agent, who ended up becoming the Players Union president or head of the Players Union, and he robbed the NHL Players Union as well. I've told that story before, so I won't go through it. Basically, Bobby Orr went to Chicago because he thought the Bruins were not going to give him the money. In reality, yes. But in reality, no. The contract was bigger with the Blackhawks. Had Bobby Orr's agent, who I can't remember his name, but is a piece of poo, told him that the Bruins offered him ownership. It was a lot more money, but guess what the agent can't get a percentage of? Ownership. And he lied to Bobby Orr, and thus screwing Bobby over. That's why in any financial doings, yes, you might need someone to help you, but always pay attention in what they're doing. So, unfortunately, things have happened to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Billy Joel, the singer, with their managers, we'll say, financial people. But this is a really nice card, Bobby Orr. Again, very nice card. It's a little crinkled up. I think it's over here. Right there. Who cares? It's a beautiful card. It's Bobby Orr. I have my eyes on a couple other Bobby Orr cards. Phil Esposito, I like to add. I like to collect the 70s Bruins. I don't know if I'll collect each from the same year, but I'd like to get the ones I like. Jerry Cheevers, Joel Jobert. So, as Greg Gurecki had it right, Alan Eagleston. Blech. Yeah, I would have used a different word. But yeah, I agree. Ahmad Rashad asked Bill Russell in 1969, how many points do you think Wilt would have scored today? He said 50 a game. Rashad said 50. Russell responded, he is 60 after all. Oh, I remember that. That's a great quote. Ooh, I like Ahmad Rashad too. I have an Ahmad Rashad card. I think it's with the Bills, and I think I have one. So, but again, I'm going to hopefully get everything I want, but you have to go slow. You can end up spending more than you want by just continue buying cards. But as Greg Gurecki says, he was being polite. DJ John 444. You mentioned Billy Joel. You a fan of his music? I like Billy Joel's music, his older stuff. Yeah, I like Billy Joel. I like Motown. I like Frank Sinatra. Tony Bennett just passed away. Love Perry Como. Dean Martin, Nat King Cole. I have an eclectic taste in music. Love Metallica. Love the Spinners. Love lots of music. Yep, Bobby Moore with the Bills until he changed his name. Fran Tarkenton tells some really... Fran Tarkenton, Ahmad Rashad is like Fran Tarkenton's favorite, one of his favorite people, human beings, not just athletes. Not just one of his favorites. I follow Fran on Facebook, and I highly recommend following Fran Tarkenton on Facebook. He has some really cool little short videos, and they're fun. All right, let's move on again. Now, man, this made baseball, wow. That's all I can say. There's a famous Sports Illustrated cover with this fine gentleman who passed away way too young, way too young. Him and Big Bird, famous Sports Illustrated cover. And I was very happy to get this. Mark the Bird Fidrich, 1976. And then, he got injured, but what might have been. But this is the Bird, Mark the Bird Fidrich. Tremendous year on a god-awful Detroit Tigers team. And you know the story about the Bird, the big Monday night game against the Yankees when he beat them, went 9 innings. The only time Tiger Stadium was packed that year was when Mark the Bird Fidrich pitched. Great stat here. Let me see if it's on this one or something else I read. This is Mark the Bird Fidrich pitched in front of 969,000 in 29 starts throughout Major League Baseball. He was a draw. He was the Bird. Mark the Bird Fidrich. Love this card. Was so happy to get it. Again, I think I picked this up for under $4, if not less. I have to look. And again, they're like, oh, it's not mint. It's pretty mint to me. Absolutely love Mark the Bird Fidrich. Another one of my all-time favorite athletes and players. You can watch the game on YouTube where he beats the Yankees on Monday night. It wasn't even supposed to be the regular Monday night baseball game, but the other game was in rain delay, and they went to this game. So a national audience saw the Bird. Mark the Bird Fidrich, who transcended sports with the joy. And if you've not seen Mark the Bird Fidrich pitch, check him out. Check him out on YouTube and check out the game. Check out the Yankee game, 1976, Tiger Stadium. The full game is on YouTube. Absolutely incredible. A joy to watch pitch. You can see the love he had for the game, and he died much too tragically on his property. I want to say it was a truck accident. I want to say the truck fell on him or the tractor. He was working on his farm. I remember when the Red Sox picked him up off the heap and he went to Pawtucket. I was like, early 80s. I was like, we're winning the World Series. We got Mark the Bird Fidrich. It was cool to see him in a Pawtucket uniform, though. And I think, I have to look back. I think he played he actually dons the Red Sox uniform in the spring training, I think. I don't remember. I kind of vaguely remember that. I have to look it up. But Mark the Bird Fidrich, ERA leader in 1976. The Bird, 19-9. Wasn't a big strikeout pitcher. Was a controlled pitcher. ERA 2.34. It was incredible. A joy to watch. I picked up this card. This has given me an idea for my 1976 strat set. Earned run leaders. Mark Fidrich and John Denny. Fidrich, of course, from the Tigers. John Denny, the Cardinals. So, but it's pretty cool. I think I might do, and they give you all the ERA leaders. The glare on the card, I apologize. So Mark the Bird Fidrich led all of Major League Baseball, 2.34. The American League was followed by Vida Blue, 2.35. Frank Tanana of the Angels, Blue of the A's, 2.44. Mike Torres of the A's, 2.50. Jim Palmer of the Orioles, 2.51. Wayne Garland of the Orioles, 2.68. Wow, I can't because of the glare. Paul Hartzell, Angels, 2.77. Bill Travers, Brewers, 2.81. Burt Blyleven, Twins in the Texas Rangers, 2.8. Or is it 2.97? I gotta look at that. 2.8 something. 2.87. And then from the Angels, Gary Ross, 3 even. Angels had 3 pitchers in the top 10 in 1976. I have to look up their record. I don't think it was that good for ERA. Cardinals, John Denny led the National League, 2.52. Doug Rauh of the Dodgers, 2.57. Tom Seaver of the Mets, 2.59. Jerry Koosman of the Mets, 2.70. Pat Zachary of the Reds, 2.74. Randy Jones of the Padres, 2.74. And I believe he won the Cy Young in 76. J.R. Richard, another man who passed away too soon and had the stroke that was tragic. 275, Astros. John the Count Montefusco, the Giants, 285. Jim Barr, the Giants, 289. And John Matlack of the Mets, 295. Mets had a damn good team in 76. They just should have done better. They had a winning record, then they fell off the table, off the edge of the table in 77. Let's go here. Midlife crisis. He has a great mid-game interview in 1976 All-Star game after his outing. He died of a heart attack after being pinned by his truck. I knew it was something like that. It was very sad. I remember when that came across the news. That was at his house in Massachusetts. Very sad. DJ John 44. The Bird in 1977. Got my first Strat card, 76. A joy to watch pitch. A joy to watch do his thing on the tabletop. Absolutely. I picked up the 76 season for Strat. We played it on the channel, but I was trying to think of a project to do that I might do online or offline, and I think I have one. Midlife Crisis was a ground ball machine. He had excellent control. You are correct. DJ John 44. Angels had no offense in 76. You are correct with that, too. Jones was a great on a terrible team. Randy Jones, the Padres. Yep. World's worst game is 76 Angels were 76 and 86, finished fourth in the AL West. Thank you very much, my friend. So, again, very happy I got those cards. Real happy. And, again, I'm not going to – these are not for me to sit there and go, oh, I'm going to resell these things. These are happiness to me. To continue to just add to my happiness of my lovely wife, Nurse Teresa, my family and friends and pets. So. Okay, now the other thing I decided, which way should we go first? We'll do the 1976 Patriots. What I decided, because that's probably my all-time favorite Patriots team. What I decided, and I love the Patriots Super Bowl teams, especially the first one they won. I love them all. I enjoy Tom Brady. Not my favorite athlete, but thank you for the Super Bowls. He's a bit of an odd duck. In my opinion, just odd, not the way I like odd. And God bless him, you know. But what I did was I decided for the 1976 Patriots, who I tortured myself watching all the highlights I could of the Raider game. And, you know, if only Sam Bam Cunningham got the first down. If they had called pass interference when they should have on Russ Francis, when he was interfered by Phil Villapiano, they would have had the first down. Had they not had, after 3rd and inches, had not the left side of their was it the left side or right side of their offensive line jumped, Steve Grogan would have got the first down on the sneak, most likely. But those things didn't happen. What did happen was unnecessary roughness, a blow to the head by Ray Sugar Bear Hamilton on Ken Stabler. You know, I've watched it over and over and over and over. Is it a penalty? Yeah, I guess. Do they normally call that in that day and age? No. You can watch highlights of receivers going across the middle, and they're, you know, Jack Tatum's trying to behead them. Who, man, I don't like him at all. So what I decided, I printed up this checklist, okay? And I'm going to collect, and I have collected, every card. I got it off eBay. They're not all in yet, but I'll show you the ones I have gotten in. I wore number 14 because my favorite player, one of my favorite players, was Steve Grogan, the quarterback. Still my all-time favorite Patriot quarterback. And there's 2 cards in here, and I got more of these card top holder thingies. Steve Grogan, 1976, second year, out of Kansas State. And then he also, the record I think was broke. I can't remember if it was Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham. I can't remember who broke the record. But this is the record-breaking card for most rushing touchdowns for a quarterback in a season. Steve Grogan, good quarterbacks, very tough player, solid. Played on some good Patriot teams that just didn't get over the hump, and then played on a couple of bad Patriot teams. And his physical play, he took a lot of punishment and got injured. But Steve Grogan, one of my all-time favorite athletes. You know I have an autographed helmet. You can see it up there. And the Chicago Bear one is autographed by Gale Sayers. You know I have the OJ helmet. You can't see it. It's a little lower. That's autographed by OJ. That's a USC Trojans helmet. But the Steve Grogan, this is his 77 Topps card, which is a 76 season. Again, this is a 77 record breaker card, which is the 76 season. So we have Grogan. All right, we have these two. Man, when I was young, and this guy, again, one of my all-time favorite players, when he left the Patriots and he went to the Raiders, I was like, oh, of all the teams. Now, was I happy when they won the Super Bowl? Just like with Jim Plunkett. Was I rooting for the Raiders? No. Was I happy that Jim Plunkett and Michael Haynes, they had Super Bowl rings? Yes. Yes. Michael Haynes, all-time great rookie year. Excellent punt returner. I think he had 3 punt returns or 4 for a touchdown in 76. All-pro at cornerback in his rookie year was tremendous. He's a Hall of Famer. Michael Haynes. Love Michael Haynes. Go back and watch some highlights from 76 or just 70s and early 80s football. Watch how physical the game was. The game's still physical, but watch the hits. How these guys played is incredible. I don't know. So Michael Haynes. Okay. Let's go back to the chat real quick. Pops review. Al, off topic. Did you see my brother? Oh! Rampage. Yes, I did. I saw that match. He had the mask, correct? And they said he was Kenny Omega's boyhood friend, correct? That is awesome. That is awesome. Is that the right match? Because I do believe that was against Don Callis's Takeshita. Am I right with that? That was awesome. I was thinking about that. I actually turned to Nurse Teresa and she goes, "What are you thinking about?" I said, I'm wondering something, but I didn't say it. That is so cool. Congrats. Awesome. Tell your brother congrats. That was awesome. He should be very proud. Put on a good show. And that was him. Our good friend Tim, Cleve Baseball Fan 879 says, "Good morning. Check out that wonderful channel. Subscribe. Of course, subscribe to Pop's Review." His brother made an AEW, we'll say debut. What AEW likes to do when they go into cities and venues, they like to bring in local wrestlers. And Pop's Review says, "Al, off topic. Did you see my brother Mentalo last week on AEW Rampage against Konosuke Takeshita?" And I did. He wore a mask. I watched the match. And he says, "Yes, that's him." Awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so happy. That just made my Saturday chat and everything even better. That's awesome. He should be very proud. That's not something easy to do. Awesome. Cool. That is awesome. All right. Now, so, again, I have my checklist here, and somehow I end up buying a couple of duplicates, which I thought what I did was I put them in the cart, and then when I found one a little less expensive that looked the same or was the same, I did it. So I have 2 Russ Francis's cards, which I'll keep both because I like Russ Francis. But anyway, one of the sellers. Now, this is cool. I've had eBay, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, they're on the up and up, but there's a couple of, you got to be careful. So I can't remember which one it is. I think it's this one. Yes, it is this one. I think. Well, anyway, it was this nice gentleman, Mr. Ferrari from Rhode Island. I'm not going to give you the address, but not only does he know I'm a Red Sox fan, he sent it with a Yogi Berra stamp, which is cool, which I love. I'm actually keeping this. But Mr. Ferrari, you want to talk about get repeat customers? And again, it's one of these two Russ Francis's cards, and I have to look. I don't remember. I want to say it was this one. So this is Russ Francis. Excellent tight end for his day and age. Very good ball. He ended up getting a Super Bowl ring with the 49ers. I was happy for him. Came back to the Patriots at the end of his career. Played with Doug Flutie for a little bit in '88. I want to say that was his last year. Maybe '89 was his last year. These are all eBay pickups. I haven't been to the collectors because the zombie hideout is not really a sports card collecting thing, but it's fun to go there. The O.J. Simpson cards with Buffalo I picked up there. Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan. And I like to go by there because you can see they charge a little more. I get that. That's fine. If I want something, I think it's reasonably priced. It's not going to take food out of the mouth of my family and not make me pay my bills. I'll pick it up. These things make me happy. But eBay, again, you got to be careful. You can go nuts on there. But anyway, so Mr. Ferrari, I purchased this card. You know what he does? I'm like, he sent me a bunch of free cards. Love this card. 1985. That's Craig James. This is the AFC Championship. That's when they beat the Raiders in L.A. The Patriots won the wild card in New York against the Jets. They went to L.A. and they beat the Raiders. And then they went down to Miami and they squished the fish. Of course, we won't talk about the Super Bowl. It didn't work out well. But you know what? They got there. Another fun team. One of my favorite teams. He sent me an Irving Fryer card for free. That's Bob Howard. That's a pretty cool card. These are the best Patriot uniforms. Whatever version, and there's some better than others with this version. Pat the Patriot, go back to it. Get rid of I can't stand their uniforms now. I got Bob Howard. This is 78, so it's a 77 season. So we have two Bob Howard cards. Don Hasselbeck, not my dad's favorite Patriot. He broke Joe Klecko's leg on a chop block. Both of his sons played, I think they both played at BC, and they both played in the NFL. And he played for the Raiders. He has a Super Bowl ring. Good tight end. Vincent Brown. These are really nice cards. This is, and it's so nice that, in the old days, they couldn't show the emblems. We've already talked about that. I don't know if is this Topps? Can't tell. What is it? Upper Deck. Upper Deck had beautiful cards. I was a Topps guy. When I did collect, I was a Topps guy, but I don't care now. So. He blocked the point after in the Super Bowl. You are correct. For the Raiders against the Redskins. Washington Redskins. Cleve Baseball Fan 879. Did something the Bears couldn't do. Squish the fish. That's right. That's right. Bears all time. Bears should have been so much better, as a dynasty. It just didn't work out. And a lot has to do with, I have to say, their quarterback, Jim McMahon. He actually tore, in my opinion, from what I read, and Mike Ditka said, he basically tore the team apart. The defense couldn't stand him. And I got Jerome Henderson, which is cool. So I got some free cards. I thought that was really nice of the gentleman, Mr. Ferrari, from Rhode Island, a fellow Paisan. All right, so we got we have Russ Francis. I got 2 of them. Russ Francis, because I forgot to uncheck it. That's fine. Bob Howard. These are the 76 Patriots. So these are 77 cards. And I did, because I just got my new top loaders in for cards. Tom Owen, backup quarterback. I used to cringe when Tom Owen would come into the game in 70. What the year Grogan was hurt was at 78, 77. Ooh. I mean, he was serviceable. He wasn't Steve Grogan. Mike Patrick, the punter, and John Smith, the kicker. Actually, let me take that out because I didn't put it the right way. But anyway, they're nice photos. John Smith, this is a really interesting story. This is pretty cool. I kind of remembered it because I knew he was a soccer player from England. Visited the U.S. as a soccer instructor at summer camp and was asked to try kicking a football. And that's John Smith. And I'll show you. And again, in the old days, you had the tops had a whitewash or Photoshop, however you want to put it. They had to take the emblems off because the NFL wouldn't allow them to have the emblems. Then they smartened up, like so. And John Smith, he's kicking right now in Pro Strategy Football 2023, which can be purchased on Steam at a very reasonable price. 2024 is going to be coming out before the new season, so check that out. I'm playing the 76. I played offline. I played the Patriots as the Patriots. I played as the Giants. I played as the Buccaneers. And I played as the 49ers with Jim Plunkett, first year in San Francisco. And I played as Seattle. We got our first win with Seattle, so we're off the schneid there. We lost 20-0 to Houston. We were in the game. We just couldn't score. Offense is really bad with Tampa. We won with the Patriots. We crushed the Colts, which they didn't do in real life. We won with the 49ers, which I think they did do in real life. And the Giants we could move the ball. We couldn't score. I think we put up nearly 400 yards of total offense, and we only kicked a field goal. But again, fun game, Pro Strategy Football 2023. We get to show you the John Smith. Hopefully we don't. There we go. All right, so this is the punter. I believe he did some place kicking too when John Smith got hurt. Mike Patrick. I believe he did some place kicking. Okay. I like this card, John Smith. I always rag on John Smith. Wasn't a bad kicker. Missed a few too many field goals. Another thing with the 1976, and this did slip my mind. Again, I was very young. But on 4th down, they tried a 50-yard field goal. You know, what if you punted the ball? But they didn't. Again, the field goal would have put them up by 7. Smith missed. Chuck Fairbanks, and he was a good coach, very good coach. But so this is John Smith, and we'll put the Patrick card in, like I did with Tom Owens, and see Bob Howard, Tom Owens, and again I just got the top loaders in, so I'm going to put them in their own individual, and I'm figuring out. I think I'm going to put them in like almost a photo, not an album, but God, can't think of the word I want to use. Frame, something like that. So, and I got the checklist because I have every card. So I'm still waiting on my other cards that should be here next week, hopefully. And we'll have all the 1976 Patriots, which I think is cool for me, being a huge 1976 Patriots fan. I'm trying to get a Babe Pirelli card, 1964, so that would be the 65 card. And Gino Cappelletti, 1964, he won the MVP for the American Football League with the Patriots. All-time leading scorer of the American Football League, Gino Cappelletti, should be in the Hall of Fame. Was he the greatest kicker? No. I mean, there was no great kickers really back then. Very good wide receiver. Also played cornerback early in his AFL career. Babe Pirelli, led the league in passing yardage in 1964. Probably one of the best teams the Patriots had in the 60s. I think it was better than the 63 team that went to the AFL championship, but they didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately. Lost a couple of close games. Thomas Bartlett, how you doing, my friend? Hey, Gary Banks from across the pond. Wonder, do they same? A lot of typos there. I believe football cards, baseball cards. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Gary, if you can retype or as everyone's saying hello to Gary. Hello, Gary. We love Gary. We love everyone in the FOC. Oh, here. So Gary says, how are we all doing, guys? Been listening to our summer sports cricket here in England. England versus Australia. Awesome. Who's winning that? Highlight Heyday is doing cricket on his channel, that Excel spreadsheet game, which is pretty fun to listen to. Highlight Heyday, check out his channel. All right, so we did that. Now, my other little thing. I picked up this George the Boomer Scott at the Zombie Hideout a while back. I showed it, 1967. So this is a 1968 Topps card. So in my head, I was like, I wonder how many of these 67 cards I can collect. Again, I'm not looking for mint. I'm just looking for something that's not horrible. Okay. All right. So I got the Boomer. Now, again, this was at the hobby shop. Nice card. Good shape. I'll show you real quick. And again, I showed this before. World's Worst Gamer. If ever I wanted a card team set for football team, it would be the 1995 Colts. That's the team that lost to Pittsburgh, correct? In that epic AFC Championship game. Am I right with that? 1995, the Hail Mary. Gary Banks says, yep, cricket summer sport here. So this is the Boomers card. George Scott. And this is in really good shape. Again, I got this at the Zombie Hideout. The back's in good shape. So we already showed that one off. But then it came to my head when I said, well, I got all the 76 Patriots and one of my favorite teams that I've never saw, to be honest, or the players. I mean, I saw Yastrzemski and Boomer later on. 67 Red Sox are fascinating. And I'm a big Tony Conigliaro fan. And again, Bernard Strom got me on this. He sent me this card that was very kind of him. We showed it off earlier, and we showed it off before. But it got me thinking. I can pick up cards probably fairly reasonably priced. So this is cool. Again, it's 1964 rookies for the Red Sox. Obviously, Tony Conigliaro did a little better than Bill Spanswick. So I said, man, could I get a 1964 Tony Conigliaro rookie card? And I did. Again, he died much too young. The horrific beaming. He died in his early 40s after he was probably going to get the announcing job or the studio job for Nesson. So that's, oh, it's upside down. But it's in good shape. And I'm a big Tony Conigliaro fan. I'm going to start reading one of his books I got. And I said, man, I'd like to have a 1967 Tony Conigliaro card. Again, that would be the 68 top set. I got it. And again, I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. Not much of a difference with the ones that they call mint. Boston fans are pulling for a complete recovery for Tony in 1968. The outfield star was seriously beamed last year and missed the final third of the season. Of course, all the World Series. Tony broke into the Boston lineup with a bang as he smashed a home run in his first at-bat in Fenway. In 1966, Tony led Boston with 28 home runs, 93 RBIs. in his sole minor league campaign. And he was MVP and Rookie of the Year in the New York Penn League. Tony C. So that's cool. So then I got thinking, well, I got the Boomer. I got Tony C. Can I get a Carl Yastrzemski card from 1967, which is the 68 top season? It's always the year after, right? So you got to make sure if you're collecting anything, make sure you're getting what you want. Carl Yastrzemski, Triple Crown year, 1967. Awesome! Carl Yastrzemski, one of the game's best clutch hitters. Carl Yastrzemski blossomed into a superstar last season. The 26-year-old outfielder was named American League Most Valuable Player as he helped the Red Sox capture the pennant flag. A Triple Crown winner, Carl went into the World Series and smashed 3 home runs versus St. Louis. Very cool. So that is cool. And I think my next team I'm going to put together, it is tough. You couldn't find them all, but I want to put together the 67 Red Sox. That's what I want to do. So I have my eyes on. I have to. You start to get really. I don't know. I do. I get really excited. I sit there for hours on eBay looking at cards, and I was like, I got to concentrate. Keep it in the framework. Keep it in the budget. I didn't go nuts with it. I have a really cool boxing card collection coming. Hopefully it's what they say. I get a little leery sometimes, but so far so good on eBay. Really cool boxing card collection. I picked up a wonderful card. I'll show you when I get it. I didn't even know Topps did boxing cards, but it's a really cool card in my opinion. And it'll be here hopefully next week. And we'll, God willing, we'll do another chat with Al if I'm here. Let's go to the chat real quick. Legend Sports Universe, check out that wonderful channel. As he says, morning. World's Worst Gamer says, nice. John DFW, awesome cards, Al. Thank you. Again, these are, you can go on. Again, be careful. Be careful. Pay attention. Watch for the shipping. Shipping. The card might be whatever, and then they're like, oh, we're charging $58 for shipping. I'm exaggerating slightly, but watch out for that. Pay attention if you want. And don't be afraid to haggle. You know what? Because they'll take a lot less money. Before I was too excited, like, oh, I want that card. I want this card. They just want to get rid of their cards. Anyhow, so we have our 76 Patriots set coming in. We bought all the player cards individually. Cards so far we have, I showed them. We'll go through one more time real quick. Where'd I put them? I don't know. Oh, they're right in front of me. We'll quickly recap, then we'll go to the chat and see how everything else is going. So these are our 76 Patriot cards. Actually, let's do that first. Andrew R.W. Greetings from Western New Hampshire, Al. Greetings, my friend. World's Worst Gamer. When it comes to cards, I think if I buy anything, it would be related to my replays. I wouldn't mind getting Hector Lopez 1961 Yankee card because he is so bad. He wasn't a bad defender, I don't think, and he had a year where he hit okay. So these are I've got them all. I bought them all. I'm just waiting for them to come in. So far, what's come in? John Smith. Oh, you're right. Tim's right. You can kind of see a little bit of the emblem, but yeah, they whitewashed them. So far, we got John Smith. He's the place kicker. and Mike Patrick was the punter. And I think he did some place kicking in 76. I want to say John Smith was hurt for a bit. We have the backup quarterback, Tom Owen, and a defensive back, Bob Howard, veteran defensive back. He came over from, I can't remember. Fortunately, we have 2 Russ Francis cards because I forgot to uncheck one. That's okay. I like Russ. Howard Cosell called him, I believe, all-world tight end. Mike Haynes, all-pro, rookie year. And then again, one of my all-time favorite. All these players I love. Or I wouldn't collect them. You will not see a Jack Tatum card. I think I do have one back there, but we will never show it off. I might actually burn it. Steve Grogan. And then the Steve Grogan, when he broke the rushing touchdown for quarterbacks. Can someone look up who broke Steve Grogan's record? Was it Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham? Could have been Donovan McNabb. I want to say it was Michael Vick who broke the rushing touchdowns for quarterback. But Steve Grogan had it from 76 until it was broken. And I can't remember who. Andrew says, loved Russ Francis, all-world tight end. Howard Cosell proclaimed it. So those are the 76 Patriots. Mark the Bird Fidrich, we picked up 2 cards. ERA leader. And so these would be 77 tops set. Obviously, the 76 season. Love these cards. Love the Bird. God rest his soul. Also got the checklist for the Patriots. I picked up everything. Just makes me smile. All these cards make me smile. But this is Arnold Palmer. To me, he's the GOAT. He made golf. Just like I don't care what you think about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods brought golf back. Not that it ever went away, but, I remember people, he wins too much, the players, blah, 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 blah. You should thank Tiger Woods because that's why you're making all this money now. Arnold Palmer. I just love this card. I didn't even know it's a longer card, right? I didn't even know they had golf cards. I just looked up Arnold Palmer. And lo and behold, I jumped on this one right away. There's no haggling for me. I said, wow, I want that. And again, these were in 1993 Grand Slam venues. This is the Masters 1962. He defeated Gary Player and Don Finsterwald in a playoff. And I just love he makes the putt. He just goes and he's smiling. I love this card. You'll see it when we do some History Maker golf. Because I'll play a lot of Arnold Palmer. And we'll probably just have it off as a visual, maybe. I don't know. But I'll have it up no matter what against my little board when I'm playing with Arnold Palmer. I might pick up a few other golfers. I don't know. I mean, that's the one I really wanted right here. So put that there. And again, to me, the GOAT for basketball, Wilt Chamberlain. This is a Prism card. I incorrectly said earlier, and I corrected myself. I think I said Panini. It's a Prism. Beautiful card. Oh, no. It is a Panini. I'm confused now. It says Prism. So it says Prism here. I was right. So it says Prism here. And then down here it says Panini. Panini / Donruss or Dash. But they're wonderful. And it was from 2021, 2022. But it's a really cool card. And I wanted a Wilt Chamberlain card. Cam Newton, thank you very much, World's Worst Gamer. So Cam Newton broke the record. I wonder, so he held it for quite a long time, Steve Grogan. I like Cam Newton. I like the year he played for the Patriots. I wish he didn't get hurt. They were a fun team to watch. And, of course, score number 4, Bobby Orr. This is, I believe, his best year ever, statistically. 74-75, 80 games, 46 goals, most goals, 89 assists, 135 points, 101 penalty minutes. Bobby Orr won the Calder Cup in 1967. That's in the AHL. Won the Norris Trophy each of his years with the Bruins. Has also won Hart, Ross, and Conn Smythe trophies. Bobby Orr, born March 20th, 1948 in Prairie Sound, Ontario, lives in Boston, Massachusetts. Still lives in the area. Bobby Orr. Andrew, RW, 603 from New Hampshire. Arnold Palmer did commercials for Hertz with that running back from the Bills who was in the Towering Inferno. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You don't think I know that? Let me tell you something. I'm a big OJ fan. OJ. This one can't see through the plastic. OJ. And then again, MP Fox sent me this. OJ. I love OJ. I was always an OJ fan. Maybe Bernard Strom, who sees OJ playing golf, we get him on the channel. Me, Bernard, and OJ. I doubt that. We can get Bernard on the channel. But, yeah, no, I like OJ. Always have. When I was on Twitter, he's fun to watch or follow. Again, I'm talking about OJ, the football player. Highlight Heyday, how you doing, my friend? Check out that wonderful channel. Subscribe as he's playing. Gary Banks was talking about cricket. Gary, check out Highlight Heyday's channel if you haven't subscribed. He's doing a cricket project using a game that he's brilliantly put on an Excel spreadsheet. It's a lot of fun to watch. I'm an OJ fan, Andrew. I always tell Nurse Teresa I'm going to invite him over for dinner. I'm not joking about that. I would have him over. I like OJ. Again, but those are what we've collected, and we have some more stuff coming in. I never thought I'd get back into card collecting. I like boxing memorabilia, so I collect that stuff, but I don't know. It just popped in my head. Again, I'm a big Tony Canigliere fan. I didn't have a card, and I was lucky enough that you meet nice people. Bobby Orr goes here. And Bernard Strom, I heard me say that, and he sent me a card. I was like, wow, that's cool. So then I wanted the rookie card. I went on eBay and picked it up. And then, so we've completed, well, once we get all the cards, which we've purchased, we just have to wait for them, we'll complete the 1976 Patriots, my all-time favorite Patriot team. And then I think the next thing we'll try is to see how many, at least try to get the starters or the prominent players. I like to get so far we have Yastrzemski and Canigliere and the Boomer. As a police car goes by. I like to get Lomborg. I saw an Elston Howard card. I like to get Petroselli, Reggie Smith, Mike Andrews, Joe Foy, Dalton Jones. I didn't see a Hawk Harrelson card. I think probably he would have been playing. Who released him when the Red Sox picked him up? Or who did they get him from? Was it the Senators? Was it the Senators he was released from? So. John DFW. I'm trying to find My 1986 Topps trading set, it's somewhere in my house. I have the 86 set back there in that closet, complete. I don't have a Bill Belichick card. I like a Chuck Fairbanks card. Chuck Fairbanks, I remember that was another fiasco. That pissed me off. You know, the Patriots didn't want to give him money. He was a very good football coach. He came from Oklahoma. Yeah, it was Oklahoma, the Sooners, in 73, 72, 73, 72, 71. 72. I think it was 72, 73. I have to look it up. In 78, the Patriots, look this up. I'm not making it up. They won the division. They were pretty good. And they were very good in 78. They dealt with some injuries, but they were very good. The Patriots didn't want to renew his contract, or didn't want to pay him more. So he ended up getting a head coaching job, I want to say someplace in Colorado for college. It sticks in my head. And Patriots found out. They fired him. They fired him with like 4 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go in the season. Players were pissed off. They end up bringing Fairbanks back to finish the season because the players revolted. They end up playing a banged-up Houston team, first round of the playoffs, at home in Foxborough. They should have won that game. But because they were so dysfunctional, they actually had two head coaches because Fairbanks was, I forgot who the other, I can't, was it Ron Earhart was the act? They like had dual head coaches. Patriots really foobarred that. That team was a good, solid team in 78. There probably is a Belichick card, World's Worst Gamer. Coach's card, probably. Gary Banks says, if I do a MLS cricket team, it's going to have to be New York. Andrew, University of Colorado. I believe you're right. I remember it was Colorado. Then he ended up coaching the New Jersey Generals in the USFL, which were my second favorite team. The first year they had the USFL, my first favorite team was the Boston Breakers. And then once they left, New Jersey was my favorite team. I couldn't get into the USFL this year. I thought I was going to, but it wasn't. Obviously, it's not the same. But it just, they got to build their fan base a little more. They had some good games. I watched a little bit of some. But there is a place for spring football if you do it right. I think you got to start, though, right after the Super Bowl, 1 week after the Super Bowl. You got to be ready to go. You got to play in bad weather cities. People like to watch bad weather games. I don't like I hate domes. Domes suck. I hate covered stadiums. They suck. Michael Canisteri. Not Bud. Hawk Harrelson played for the Senators and went to Kansas City and was released by them when he spoke against Charlie Finley as being bad for baseball. Thank you. I couldn't remember. I remember it was the Senators. So that's about it for the card collecting. Again, we have a boxing card collection set coming. A lot of cards. It's going to be fun to look at those. I have an individual boxing card I bought because I wanted to make sure I got it. The one thing I didn't like about the boxing card collection, but I got it at the price I wanted, he didn't show all the cards. He just said, yeah, it's in there. So I hope, I hope they're correct. So, Cleve Baseball Fan 879. Al, dome stadiums may suck, but they allow the stadium owners to make money more than 6 months a year. That's fine. They still suck. I don't like them. I don't mind if the fans are covered. That's different. Fans should be comfortable. Players should play in the elements. That's just me. Weather games are fun to watch. Highlight Heyday. Gary, I subscribe to Willow TV app channel for $9.99 a month for my cricket fix. They've been covering the Major League Cricket season excellently. And again, check out Highlight Heyday's channel. He has a really fun cricket game that he's put up on Excel, done a marvelous job with that. And it's enjoyable to listen to because when I'm at work or driving in the car, I really don't watch. I listen. At work, I'll take a peek, but it's fun to listen to. I don't know all the rules, but I know more runs are better than less. You have to fix it a googly. You got to get a googly in there. I know a googly is some sort of pitch from watching a movie before. So there you have it. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. So what's going on in the FOC? Michael's going to Denver for PlayCon. Have fun. You're going to have to report back to us on that, Michael. I believe Dr. David Little's going out there if he's not there already. He met on the Facebook group page, his Facebook group page, Sports Replays and Simulations, or Replays and Simulations. He met Tommy Wildfire Rich. He has a card there. Al, is there a crappy Red Sox player that was a favorite player of yours that you'd want a card for? Do you mean like he just came to the Red Sox and wasn't good? I mean, I have a Bob Baylor card. Bob Bailey card for the Red Sox. He sucked. Wasn't my favorite player either. It's tough to have a... crappy's not the right word. Maybe just like a utility guy. There are players I like. I have Steve Lyons. I like Steve Lyons. I would say he was a solid player. Good player. Could play a lot of positions. Wasn't a superstar. They traded him in the Tom Seaver trade in '86. Trying to think. Oh, yeah, I don't want Pablo Sandoval. And I sure as hell don't want Carl Crawford. What a mega crybaby. Everything to him was racial. Everything. Everything. No one likes me because I'm black. Shut up. No one likes you because you're a crybaby. My God, get off that. He cried about everything. Adrian Gonzalez, not one of my favorite Red Sox. We play too many Sunday night games here in Boston. I'm a crybaby. I got to go complain to management all the time. Bobby Valentine's mean to me. Jeez. Dustin Pedroia, not one of my favorite Red Sox. Another mega whiner. Good player. Not my favorite. He's not going to be on my... I mean, if I was making a Red Sox team, he's not on my team. I don't want guys like that. Manny Machado takes him out, ruins the rest of his career. Joe Kelly decides, well, we're going to beam him. And you're like, oh, I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't tell him to do that. Throws his teammates under the bus. We've discussed this before. Don't like Dustin Pedroia. Not a fan of Petey. Don't like him. I'll take a different guy at second. Yes, I will. Give me Jerry Remy, Bobby Dorr, Mike Andrews. Don't care. I can win with those guys. Yeah, no. Yeah, so, I mean, world's worst gamer. Some bad players end year themselves to me, like Ray Euler, for instance. He was a good defensive player, though. Played for the Tigers. Couldn't hit worth poop. All right, so I know what you mean. And I would want his card, but, I mean, Dennis Eckersley, when he came back in his second stint for the Red Sox, was okay. Obviously, he wasn't. He was at the end of his career. Russ Francis, when he came back to the Patriots, was okay. End of his career. I wouldn't say they were crappy players. He was a Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and he was such a... I was happy when we signed him. I'm like, holy cow, we got Carl Crawford. And all he did was complain. Everything was racial to him. Everything. Fans in Boston's are racist. Really? And they pretty much like David Ortiz. They like Manny Ramirez, Louis Tiant, Jim Rice. They don't like you because you're a whiner. And it doesn't seem like you play hard. You know, you got to be careful to come to play in Boston back in the day, New York, Chicago. Fans are tough. You played in Tampa in front of nobody. Then you went to the Dodgers where the people show up in the third inning and leave in the eighth. Not everyone. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. I love Magic Johnson even more when he took Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez, and I'm sorry we lost Nick Punto, but that's okay. And I was so happy when we got rid of those guys. Weiner, not Nick Punto. Weiners. Oh my God. Adrian Gonzalez. I remember we had to trade Rizzo for him. I was like, well, Anthony, we lose a Paisan, but man, that's all. We get a potential Hall of Famer in Adrian Gonzalez. No, we got a mega whiner who didn't give a crap about winning. Yeah, I couldn't stand everything. Whine those guys. Would you say John Havlicek goes down as one of the greatest shooting guards ever, even though he played small forward for most of his career? John Havlicek was outstanding. Hall of Famer, all-time great. John Havlicek, and you can't touch the guys now. Same thing. Put up a ton of points now. Ton of points. I was sad to see the Celtics trade away Smart. I like Marcus Smart. The only thing I didn't like about Marcus Smart, I hated when he chucked up those threes. I mean, yeah, he'd get hot, but I love Marcus Smart's intensity. I loved he spoke up. I loved he played tenacious defense. And Celtics must have thought he was the cause of the problems. I didn't think so, but I'm not there. They're going to let the nuts run the asylum. They kept the whiners, the guys who, triple covered, pass the ball. Now they picked up that European player. That's nice. You're going to pass him the ball, or you're going to, on triple coverage, chuck it up. I get it. You score 30-something points, 28 points a game. When you're triple covered, pass the ball. The Celtics need a closer. Had Gallinari been healthy and played, he would have been the closer. I wish they didn't trade Marcus Smart. He was one of my favorite Celtics. I wish Time Lord Williams, the center, can stay healthy. Another one of my favorite Celtics. We'll see. They got rid of Smart. I don't think he was a problem. You caved to the asylum. You caved to the whiners. Marcus Smart would call those guys out, and they didn't like it. Porzingis. Well, we'll see if they pass the ball to Porzingis, and we'll see if he can handle Boston. Some guys can, some guys can't. Again, the fan base for the Red Sox and Celtics and Patriots, it's all toned down now. You can't yell at players. That being said, you shouldn't swear at players. Well, okay, I swore at a Yankee a couple of times when I was at Fenway. In a playful way. They couldn't hear me anyway. David Wells. I called him, you fat bastard. We had the chant going. You can't do that now. Oh, it's not right. It's a sport. I don't want nothing bad to happen. It's just something you're trying to get in their heads. So the fan base in all sports seems and I don't tolerate racial stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. You should never do that. We're all human beings. Still don't like Carl Crawford as a baseball player when he came to Boston. But whiner. Let's go down here. Andrew. RW603 from New Hampshire. Gonzalez was a bad fit for one day. Meltdown under the bright lights. I'm sorry. Dyslexia. I invert. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me reread. Gonzalez was a bad fit from day one. Meltdown under the bright lights. You're exactly correct. Had we known what we known, we should have kept Anthony Rizzo. I would take Anthony Rizzo now. But I had a discussion with a young Red Sox fan who lives out in California now. He has a YouTube channel. Slips my mind. Very nice young man. And a Yankee fan. They told me they would take Bobby Dahlbeck over Anthony Rizzo. I wouldn't. I don't care he's younger. I don't care what he's doing now. And this was a year or two ago. I would have took Anthony Rizzo in a heartbeat. Bobby Dahlbeck can't hit. He can hit homers if he gets the right pitch. But other than that, it's good defensive first baseman. I'll take Anthony Rizzo. Yep. Was a Red Sox for a year or so. I don't know. I told you, I don't like, when I say don't like, I don't want anything, I don't mean personally. I don't know them. They could be nice people. From what I see on TV and read, and their actions, I don't like Dustin Pedroia. He could be the nicest guy in the world, but he threw his teammates under the bus. I actually said hello to David Ortiz twice when we went to a Red Sox game. He rolled his window down. He was driving his car. We're like, hey, that's David Ortiz. He had his window down. Then he was at the light, stopped at the light. We're walking by again. Big Papi, hey, how you doing? That goes a long way. And I'm not saying Petey didn't do. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't want him on my Red Sox team. I don't. Will Cordero, don't want him on my Red Sox team. He didn't play long, but you shouldn't hit your wife with a phone. It's bad. It's bad. I have some other cool baseball cards coming. Very excited from 1978. Forgot to mention that. Not going to give it away. I probably will at some point because I can't help myself. So we got some 78 cards coming. Baseball. Very excited. Very excited about that. I have a certain thing I'm going to do for the 70s Red Sox. I'm trying to, again, I'm just in collecting mode. None of these cards are mega. I'm not stupid. They're not for resale, so I'm not mega collecting price. But I think what I would like to do, because it's doable, I'd like to get every Tony Conigliaro card. It goes to 75, and he didn't play in 73 and 74 or 72, I don't think. His last year was 77. He came back in 75 briefly with the Red Sox. Then was released. Vision problems again. So I think that's one of the little collecting projects. But I want to complete. It is complete, but it's not complete until I have all the cards in my hands. The 76 Patriots. Again, one of my favorite all-time football teams. I want to get a Greg Landry Detroit Lions card and a Colt. I think I have him for the Colts. I got to check back there. Greg Landry graduated from UMass, University of Massachusetts Minutemen. I want to get a Dr. J ABA card. They're very expensive, so I have to keep looking. With the New York Nets. I don't want him with the Virginia Squires, I think they're called. I want him with the New York Nets. And I want him with the red, white, and blue ball in his hand. So I'm looking for a specific look. I also have thoughts on Babe Pirelli, Gino Cappelletti, 64 year. Jim Nantz. I'd like to pick up a Jim Nantz card, running back for the Patriots. Possibly a Joe Namath card. Bart Starr. I might go through and try to get my favorite quarterbacks. That'd be kind of fun. I think Topps did do ABA cards. I saw them on eBay. Dr. J cards are expensive. My first thought was I wanted to get a card with each team, but they're very expensive. So I'm just going to be happy to get. I have a Sixers card up there somewhere, so I'm good with that. I'm pretty sure. But I have to go look to see what I have. I collected mostly baseball cards. I have some football card sets. And I'll show them again. I showed them one time. I have some unique big baseball and big basketball cards. These baseball cards are like, I'm not lying, they're like this. World's Worst Gamer. I was looking up what the first Red Sox card printed, but not finding it. Anyone know here? That's a good question. That's a good question. Golden Eagle 99. I want to get some basketball cards from the 70s. Again, check out eBay. They have some cheap. Don't go nuts. I mean, we'll do whatever you want, but they have some cards that, as long as they're not mint, and then haggle. Make an offer if you want. Again, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. These are just my opinions. I'm enjoying it, but I get too excited. I want this. I want that. And again, what I'd like to do with Wilt, I'd like to get a Sixers card, a Warriors card, and I want to say the ABA team that he was going to coach, but they didn't let him. because he was under contract still or something. I can't remember. I could be wrong. They're the San Diego Conquistadors. And I saw one on eBay, or I saw one when I was looking up images. So the other thing you have to be careful on eBay, make sure you're getting legit cards, not like someone created them. They're beautiful. People have created these beautiful cards, but I don't want those. I can do that. I can just get the software and do it. I don't want those. So, and they charge a lot. I mean, I'm not saying like mega money, but for cards they created, you want to make sure you're getting, it's up to you, but like you want to make sure you're getting, say, tops. You want to make sure you're actually getting Donruss or Flares or Paninis and not something, I think they say it's like deco art or something. Like you can tell if it's fan created and you can click on if you want tops. I always click on tops. Golden Eagle 99. That Hannes Wagner card, still the card that sold for the highest price to date, correct? Yes, I believe Keith Olbermann, the former ESPN studio guy, has it. He paid millions of dollars for that. Makes him happy. I think you could spend your money differently, but I don't have millions of dollars, so just can't see that. Yeah, I believe that's the highest. I think that's the highest priced card ever sold. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting what people will pay for. Again, it's what you like. As long as you, just my opinion, I'm not, or fact, for me, I pay my bills. I'm not taking food out of my family's mouth. Not hurting anybody. So I'm enjoying, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm enjoying a second life of card collecting a different way. Is it as fun as opening packs? Yeah, it is. Because I get the cards I want. To buy a pack of baseball cards, which I have somewhere, I bought them at work because we were selling them, impulse item at the registers, near the registers. I bought some. Man, they're like 10. What the hell are they? They're almost like $10 a pack. Beautiful cards. I have to find them. I think I showed them before. They're down here somewhere. I have to clean up my studio, a.k.a. computer room, my man cave. Got my Danhausen stuff over there. Where is it over there? Danhausen. That way. We're going to wrestling next week in Hartford. We're going to be at the Saturday Collision Show. Very psyched about that. Nurse Teresa picked up tickets. She likes wrestling. She likes going live better. So we're going to go there. The wrestlers are doing a wrestling con or a Comic-Con. I think it's a wrestling con at Mohegan Sun, but we're not going to go there. But Danhausen's going to be there. Ethan Page, Brody King, a lot of wrestlers I like. They're entertaining to me. So AEW, yes. It's fun to go live. I watched the show last night when I was playing some games. I got the TV over here. I didn't watch the main event. It was Stratlander, who I like, but I'm not and Maria Sharapova. I can't pronounce her name. They're both good wrestlers, but it didn't do anything for me. I like Stratlander. Had she wrestled somebody else? And will I watch that match over? Probably on demand. I'll watch it. It was only going to be like a 15-minute match. But I watched. They're entertaining. They're toning down some of the high-flying stuff, which is good, so they don't kill each other. Again, it's fake. We know it. Or it's scripted. I shouldn't say fake. They get hurt. They got to be careful. They do too much crazy stuff. So there's nothing, it's always the great thing about YouTube. You can go back and watch old boxing matches. Now you're finding a lot of old football games from the 70s and early 80s. Really can watch the style of play. Watch the style of announcing, which I enjoyed so much better. There wasn't so much of the BS talk. Like, let's go down to the sidelines and talk to the player. Let's go down and talk I don't want to hear that. I just want to tell me about the game. Before the half, injuries. That's it. I like the old school way of announcing. I like the way the game was televised then. You can watch old school wrestling. That's fun. Well, some people still thought you still had that doubt in your head for certain things. Did they really just hit each other? AEW, I can tell you they really lay those chops in, open-handed chops. You can see the guy's chest bleed. That ain't fake. Cleve Baseball Fan 879. Collision is coming to Cleveland September 9th, coming to Rocket Mortgage instead of Walston Center. Thank God. Got to text people and see if they want to go. It's a good time. Again, get your tickets if you're reasonable. You know what sucks? You can't buy them, at least around here, you don't buy them from the venue anymore. You have to go almost like through a Ticketron, and they bump up the prices. H2 Hofield says, hello from Alberta. I believe that's Canada. How you doing? How's the weather there? Lethbridge, Alberta. Alberta, big wrestling in that area. Golden Eagle 99. The days of Pat Summerall and John Madden on CBS. Excellent. And there's some good announcing now, too, but there's a lot of bad. I don't know if I'm being I liked it better then. Dick Stockton. UB Brown on CBS covering NBA games. Absolutely awesome. Midlife crisis. They don't need to talk to the players during the game anymore. With social media, fans already know the players by more than just their faces. Thank you. I agree. The Hart family, the Dungeon. You can find some really cool old wrestling on YouTube. It's fun to watch. This is where Jim Cornette goes wrong. When he goes, oh, everything was real serious. Jim, I love Jim Cornette's historical take on wrestling. I love it. I don't agree with everything he says about stuff. But again, it's his opinion. It's cool. A lot of these wrestling podcasts start to turn me off when they're telling me how I should live my life. Live your life the way you want. Don't bother me. I don't care. Really, I'm serious. I don't break the law. Don't hurt people. Do what you got to do. I don't care if you're whatever. Don't care. Really don't. But don't push stuff on me. I'll push back. Don't push. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you dress. I might look at you and go, that's kind of strange, but hey, you're not bothering me. Don't care. Should you be saying that's the norm? For you, that's the norm. I have a difference of opinion, but don't bother me. Don't care. God created us all. You're a human being. Should be treated as a human being. But man, the world, I'll just speak for myself. The world, in my eyes, they need to change a lot of stuff. They've gone crazy. World's gone crazy. I think that's why I'm reverting back to my 12-year-old self. Not everything was great back then either, but I'm just saying, my God. A dude's a dude, a chick's a chick. Simple. Now you want to dress differently, that's up to you, man. That's whatever, but now we have people saying, no, there's this, there's that. No. Scientifically, there are two chromosomes. You're either this or that. It's what you are. How would you think the women's U.S. soccer team would do against a bunch of transgenders? They would lose. How would they feel then? I don't get it. Anyhow, it's just my thought process. Back to fun stuff. UB Brown. UB Brown was one of the best color commentators. He coached the Knicks. With Bernard King. Bernard King, one of my favorite basketball players. Love that he liked to the fundamentals. Yes. Dick Enberg, excellent. John, oh God, the guy on ABC, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Oh my God, why? Keith Jackson. He could do boxing too. Keith Jackson he was Monday Night Baseball. He did boxing once in a while, did a great job with that. Al, speaking common sense, love it. I just had it. Something popped in my head. Just treat people nice. People are going to be different. It's cool. That's fine. I don't care. I really don't. But when you start pushing stuff on other people, just like if I push stuff, it's not right. And someone said, Al. And I said, you're right. But I'm just saying. We're all human beings. It should be really easy. It should really be. H2 Hofield question: did you become a fan of your current favorite teams when you discovered sports, or did you pick up a team late? No, when I discovered sports, and I think that has to do with my family. We're all Red Sox fans, all Bruins fans. Sports. We all like sports. My dad, my mom like sports. God rest their souls. My brother was an excellent athlete, played in college, baseball and soccer. I was an okay athlete. Played in high school, played Legion ball. Love the Red Sox. I always joke, there are two things I was told they hate, and it's jokingly. You hate the Yankees and you hate the Montreal Canadiens. Jokingly. You didn't want to lose to them. Bruins fan. Now, do I follow sports like I used to? No. Things have changed in sports. Rules, the way it's broadcast. I want to watch sports to watch sports. I don't want people to tell me how I should think. You shouldn't want people to tell you how you should think. I'm not saying not to form opinions. Obviously, we form opinions. But, hey, I'll just go back, and I wish I could remember the African-American, I want to say defensive player for the Steelers. And he said, I'm not wearing that on the back of my helmet. And they go, why aren't you wearing that in the back of your helmet? That guy shot 2 African-American people. Now, the guy had been shot by the police, again, because he shot at the police who were responding to him shooting at 2 African-American people who he killed. And that was a few years back when they were going through that nonsense. Don't get it. So, but, okay. So I've always been a Red Sox fan. I like the Giants, but I root for the Patriots over the Giants. But I like the New York Giants. My brother's a Giants fan. Bruins. Love the Whalers when they were in Hartford. Obviously, there's no Whalers anymore. NHL Whalers or AHL. They actually played at the Springfield Civic Center when the Hartford Civic Center collapsed in the late 70s, early 80s. Late 70s. Red Sox. Mets. I like the Mets. Got away from the Mets a bit. Again, I always rooted for the Red Sox over Mets. If they obviously 86 was crushing, so I didn't root for the Mets for a little bit because I always had a National League team. Basketball, Knicks and Celtics. I like boxing. Usually like local fighters. I like pressure fighters. So I liked Antifermo, Joe Frazier, Frank the Animal Fletcher, many others. Old school. I love Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Jerry Quarry, Jerry Cooney. I like Marvis Frazier, Bobby Chez, Gianfranco Rossi. No one probably remembers who that is. Clutch, grab, and punch. Gianfranco Rossi. That's how his style was described. Had quick hands. Didn't hit hard, but was physically strong. Had some fun fights on TV. Got wrecked by Donald Curry on ESPN. But he upset Dwayne Thomas and Lupe Aquino on ESPN. I remember those fights. And he beat Darren Schoolboy Van Horn twice. So, yeah, I think H.2 Hofield, I had friends who would switch teams. Like, whatever team won, that was their favorite team. I never did that. So, had a lot of friends who were Yankee fans. Had a lot of friends who were Cowboy fans, Steeler fans, Giants fans. Talking football there. Then there are times you root for players. Like if the Sixers, I never rooted for the Sixers, but I like Charles Barkley. I've already said that. I like Dr. J. I like Moses Malone. He was a beast under the board. He was a great player. Well, obviously, he's a great player. When the Sixers played the Lakers, I would watch. I didn't care who won, but I just wanted good games. I love Magic Johnson. Those teams are outstanding. Lakers, Sixers, Celtics in that era, unbelievable, those teams. I mean, Golden State now, when they have their run, unbelievable. And again, I don't watch a lot of modern basketball, college or pro. I used to love college basketball. Three-point game ruined it. And I never thought it would, and it did. That's all they do. Everyone chucks up threes. It's boring. To me, it's boring. Boring. Gabe Kaplan did coach Bernard King. That's a fun basketball movie. What was that called? Midlife Crisis. That is a fun basketball movie. Not PC. So if you're a PC person, don't watch it. There's some harsh language in there. But yeah, wasn't that a junior college? And he brought two players from New York. One was a girl, and one was Bernard King. What was that movie? Fast Break? Was it Fast Break? Oh, I watched that a few years back. I love that movie. It was like on Netflix. More than a few years back now. Yeah, I love that. I'd love to watch that again. I think it was called Fast Break. Gabe Kaplan was a good athlete himself. Remember when he beat Robert Conrad in the runoff on Battle of Network Stars? That was awesome. Welcome back, Carter. Golden Eagle 99, H2 Hofield. Growing up in Northeast Ohio, yes, pretty much. It was Browns, Cavaliers, and Indians when I was a kid, especially the Browns. Midlife Crisis, Fast Break. I love that movie. Again, if you're faint of heart, there's some language used. Because here's the thing. Language can be used. I'm not condoning it, but it's a movie. Language can be said. I'm not condoning it. We've all said things. Well, I know I've said things. Everyone said things. You might have said it to that one person. Doesn't mean it's everybody. And again, I'm not condoning that language, whether I've used it in the past. But if someone calls me a blankety blank, guess what? I'm going to call them a blankety blank. Fast Break. Awesome. I love that movie. Michael Canisteri. Oh, yeah, I love this question that H2 Hofield put. I think it was, let me go back and find the question again. Yeah, H2 Hofield. I love this question. So everyone's sharing it in the chat. I'm going to read it, and then we'll end the stream pretty soon. But I'm having fun. If everyone's having fun, we'll continue for a bit. The question from H2 Hofield from Alberta in the Great White North. Did you become a fan of your current favorite teams when you first discovered sports, or did you pick the team up later? Now, I picked up the teams when I was young, mostly Boston teams, as I've already stated. Golden Eagles, same thing. He grew up in Ohio. Browns, Cavaliers, Indians. When I was a kid, especially the Browns. H2 Hofield. I got into sports at around 8 or 9. That had the Tigers, Leafs, and New York Jets becoming my lifelong teams. However, I have warm spots for the 49ers and Edmonton Oilers in the 80s. Do you follow Canadian League football? And who's your favorite? If you do, who's your favorite Canadian Football League team and players? Michael Canistari regarding the question. 1967, I was 10. And my teams became the Rangers, New York Rangers. Oh, faux pas. Bruins sucked, though, in 67. No, that was Bobby Orr. Was he there yet? 67. Could have been. Red Sox, Sixers, and Giants. Well, you grew up in Connecticut. Or the Connecticut, New York Cosmos. Oh, I love the Cosmos. Pele. I was trying to get a Pele card and a Canalia card. Got to find them cheaper. Because I want them in the Cosmos kind of uniforms. Canalia, Pele, Beckenbauer. Oh, God. So many others. I can see their faces, but their names slip my mind. Love the New York Cosmos. Arnold Hunter. I discovered basketball in 1968 growing up with Willis Reed, New York Knicks, Was my favorite player. Awesome. H2 Hofield, our friend from Alberta, Canada. The only thing I have added are the Marlins for my National League team. Does everyone have that? I do that. Or I used to. Like I still root for the Mets and the Red Sox. One of my favorite current players, DeGrom, who went to the Rangers, he's hurt. I think his career is done. Such a talent, and he can't stay healthy. But does everyone do that? Do you root for you have okay, so I like the Patriots, but I'll root for the Giants. Hockey, Bruins, and pretty much any team my cousin plays on. Frank Vertrano. He's out west now. I liked when he was with the Rangers. I loved when he was with the Bruins. He went down to Florida for a bit. But do you do that? Do you have more than a favorite team, but you might root for another? Like in NFL, I always, like I said, Patriots, Giants, and then there's something that'll catch my interest, and I'll root for them too, as long as they're not playing the other two teams. So for baseball, does someone if you're a National League fan, do you have an American League team you root for too? Again, Red Sox and Mets. I kind of follow a little bit of the Giants because Carl Yastrzemski's son, grandson is on the team. Golden Eagle 99. Yeah, when I was around 8 or 9 years old, rooting for the Browns teams, Bernie Kosar, Ernest Biner, Webster Slaughter, Reggie Langhorn, sorry. I remember those are good teams. Never could get over the hump. They couldn't beat the Denver. They had a fun year. I want to say Ryan, the former Jets quarterback, he went there because they had a bunch of, I think Kosar got hurt. And there was one year they played 3 different quarterbacks. I want to say they made the playoffs. I thought Marty Schottenheimer got a raw deal. I thought he was a hell of a football coach. Unlucky. Golden Eagle 99. Cleveland was a Browns town for real. People don't realize how big the Browns were in Cleveland throughout the 80s. And then in the early 80s, you had Sipe, Reggie Rucker, Dave Logan, Ozzie Newsome, Mike Pruitt, Greg Pruitt, not related. Alzado was on that team that lost to the Raiders. He played for Cleveland. Matthews. Was Cousineau still on? Was it Cousineau? They had good teams. Their team was good. They only made the playoffs in that run twice, 1980, and I think they made it in the strike year. And that was McDonald was the quarterback in the strike year. Sticks in my head. Sipe might have jumped or was hurt because Sipe would go to the USFL. So from 76, you could see the nucleus. They were good till 80, 83, okay. 80, they had a very good team. That was heartbreaking. I always rooted for them. They could never beat Pittsburgh until 1980. They always lose to Pittsburgh. I think they finished 9-7 in 79, in 78, maybe 9-7 or 8-8. So they were a good, fun team to watch. Golden Eagle 99. It's not the chucking up of the threes as much as the explanation of it all by these analytics and advanced metrics people. I think I understand what you mean. If you score more threes, you win. If you score more twos, you'll win. It's a higher percentage shot. I'm not saying not to shoot threes. It's boring to me. It's boring. When you same thing with sabermetrics or whatever that crap is. Yeah, you got to use stats. They make up stats, though. Runs batted in isn't important. If you don't knock in runs, you can't win. My favorite stat, I don't even know how they figured it. They figured out somehow range, like a defender's range. And I go back to this story because I've said it before if you watch Chat with Al's every once in a while. The Red Sox got Mike Cameron from the Mets. I used to have the baseball package. I watched a ton of baseball then. and a ton of Mets games, and a ton of Red Sox games, and a ton of West Coast games. Mike Cameron was not the Mike Cameron who played defensively for the Seattle Mariners. He was awful, and he couldn't hit anymore. He never was a great hitter. He had some power a bit. So the Red Sox get him. We had Jacoby Ellsbury at the time playing center field. We moved him to left because the gurus of analytics said he covered more ground. No, I watched him with the Mets. He was awful in center field. Could he catch the balls hit to him? Yeah, he could. He couldn't cover anything anymore. That's how we got Jacoby Ellsbury killed by the third baseman, who we should have kept, Adrian Beltre, who wanted to play for the Red Sox, but we didn't sign him. He only played 1 year, had a great year. They were going for a pop fly, and they collided, and he's built like a brick wall, Adrian Beltre. I think it was Adrian Beltre. He ended up going to Texas, having 8 more great years. Red Sox, another stupid effing move. But yeah, I think when you have to have the eye test too. Statistics are important. Moneyball had sort of the right idea, but it kind of ruined things. Not ruined. Made everyone look at things differently. And I think they went where they might have went overboard one way. Now they go overboard the other way. Midlife crisis. No one told Conrad that Kaplan ran competitively in a previous life. I mentioned that to my friend. And I think on a Facebook group page, I've talked about it before on here, on Chats with Al. He was a very good athlete. He didn't look like it. And he was a runner. I can't remember if it was high school or college, but he could run. He ran track and field. He was a good athlete. And he destroyed Robert Conrad, who was body beautiful. Midlife crisis. Also, before its time, the scene where they stopped by the cops and had to eat the contraband very quickly. Oh, and Fast Break. Yep. When they were driving to the junior college. Michael Conesteri grew up in Connecticut. H2O field. I never liked the CFL, loved the NFL. Okay, that's cool. I watched the CFL when Flutie was there. My boy Doug. Oh, I forgot to grab the Flutie Flakes next time. I still have a box of closed Flutie Flakes. They were the sweetest cereal I've ever tasted in my life. Michael Conesteri. New York team was the Astros because of their old-time uniforms and J.R. Richards. J.R. Richard. I love J.R. Richard. Another what if, right? He had that stroke. H2 whole field from Alberta, Canada. Tigers, Marlins, New York Jets, Niners, Leafs, Oilers. So he gave you baseball, Tigers, Marlins, American League, National League. AFC, NFC for football, Jets, Niners, and the NHL, Leafs, and Oilers. Golden Eagle 99. I do that somewhat. I root for the Cavaliers, but Giannis is my favorite NBA player. So sometimes I root for the Bucks, the Greek Freak. 1988. Was that when we were talking football? 1988 is one of my favorite sports years. Morgan Magic. That's one of my favorite Red Sox teams. I like to collect those. Joe Morgan, all-time favorite Red Sox manager. I know Francona won the World Series. I like him. But I love Walpole Joe from Walpole, Massachusetts. Had a garden in the bullpen area in the back, or in that area. It was cool. Would hunt mushrooms. Go look for the good wild mushrooms. I love Walpole Joe. I love that team. Morgan Magic. They fired McNamara. Joe Torre was supposed to be hired, but then the Red Sox went on the run with Joe Morgan. That's how the Yankees got Joe Torre. And Joe Morgan got fired because he finished third, a close third too, I believe, because they didn't want to lose Butch Hobson, who was an awful manager. And their team was getting old. But I like Joe Morgan. I like the 88 Red Sox, Morgan Magic, when they won all those games and they still had the home winning streak. They picked up Larry Parrish. He got released by the Rangers, and he went on a 3-week, I want to say it was 3 weeks, where he was murdering the ball for the Red Sox. Then he was done, but it was fun to watch. Golden Eagle 99. I had Don Strock, Mike Pagel at quarterback. Oh, the year they got hurt, 1988. Gotcha. They had Don Strock, Mike Pagel at quarterback. May have had somebody else. That was fun to watch. You never knew who was playing quarterback. They had three. I want to say they had three veteran quarterbacks. I want to say not Mike Ryan. Oh God, Ryan. He was a backup quarterback to Kenny O'Brien with the Jets. I can't think of his first name. I want to say they had all three, but yeah, Strock and Pagel. That was a fun team to watch. Kozar was hurt. Kozar would come back with the Cowboys later on. Very good, serviceable quarterback. Kozar, great quarterback. So it was 88. Yeah, they were fun to watch. I rooted hard for them. As long as they weren't playing I don't think they played the Patriots in 80. I don't remember, but 88 Patriot team was a fun team. They actually let Doug Flutie play till the end of the year. Pat Ryan. Thank you, Bears Den. Can someone see if Pat Ryan was on that team too? Because he played in a playoff game. He played in a playoff game. I don't remember what year, but Kozar was hurt. But yeah, I do remember Don Strock, Mike Pagel. Again, people used to laugh at Mike Pagel. Not a bad quarterback. Played on horrible Colts teams. Horrible Colts teams. Midlife crisis. I grew up in Florida in the 70s. Had no baseball team, so I latched on to the Reds. Grew up a Finns fan. Understandable. Was a Sixers and Flyers fan because Dr. J and the Flyers were coming off back-to-back championships. Again, understandable. Very cool for sharing. Midlife crisis. Last 40 years, evolved into a Phillies-Eagles fan after moving to Pennsylvania. Still have some feelings for the Reds and Finns when they're playing well. Bears Den said Pat Ryan. I greatly appreciate that because I couldn't remember his first name. Golden Eagle 99. Yeah, they did. Don Strock, Mike Pagel. I think they lost to the Oilers in a wild card playoff matchup that year. Fun times, fun times. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours. I think we'll call it a stream in a little bit. So share your final thoughts. Did you enjoy our early stream? Because I don't know if I can stream tonight. I haven't streamed in a while. I'm still here. But so what are some final thoughts before we sign off? Midlife crisis. I believe Strock was captain comeback for the Browns. I think he had some big comebacks for them. Remember he used to come off the bench for the Dolphins to replace Woodley. I'm going to be honest with you. And again, I'm not the head coach. I'm not there at practice. I always thought Don Strock was the better quarterback than David Woodley. That's just me. I didn't understand why he didn't start more often. I just think Don Strock was the better quarterback. In the Super Bowl against the Redskins, I always remember watching as a kid going, I wonder if they're going to bring Strock. And again, they were winning. They weren't playing horrific. But the offense, if I remember correctly, in the second half really didn't move the ball. I'm trying to remember. I think they had a punt return or a kick return for a touchdown. Was it Jimmy Cephalo? I'd have to look back. But I didn't think the offense moved the ball in the second half. And I was always wondering, and again, I'd have to look at the stats, but that's the way I remember it. I was wondering, are they going to bring Strock in? Because I think I would have brought Strock in. Golden Eagle 99 says, yeah, Strock did have some comeback wins. Andrew says, thanks for the stream. Very enjoyable as always. Well, thank you very much, Andrew from New Hampshire, for joining us. We have a few more minutes. So final thoughts before we go off air. And I'm going to play some games. I think I'll get back to my 1976 offline Pro Strategy Football 2023, playing a bunch of different teams. I'll play all the Patriots games. I'll play pretty much all the Giants games. I'll play all the San Francisco 49er games. I'll play probably all the Tampa games except against the Patriots. In Seattle. I think we're going to play a lot of those. It's fun. World's Worst Gamer, thanks for the chit chat. Hope you and your wife enjoy the wrestling event you're going to soon. Have fun. We will. We'll have a little update with that. Same to you, to everybody. Enjoy life the best you can. Sometimes stuff happens. Not fun. But we're all still rolling along. Use that boxing terminology as I get the coffee burps. Roll with the punches, my friends. Roll with the punches. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Try to treat. It's not always easy. Try to treat people the way you want to be treated. And things will be okay as best they can. Dwayne Martz saying, what's going on here? Hello, everyone. Sorry, got here late. Well, we're going to be signing out. Check out that wonderful channel. Dwayne does a lot of cool red, white, and blue racing, Glory Days boxing, amongst many other things on a fun card and dice channel. He's doing his 1961 replay, card and dice baseball. Oh, wow. I can't remember the game he's using, but I believe he's using the Digital Diamond Baseball. You can use that as an app to track your stats. I don't do that. A lot of people do. I don't play full seasons out card and dice. That's a task. I give credit to people who do. I like to do little projects, one-offs, things that pop in my head. But another fun YouTuber in our FOC, Friends of the Channel, Friends of the Community, Dwayne Martz YouTube Network. Golden Eagle says hello to him. So check out and subscribe to his wonderful channel. That being said, we've gone just over 2 hours. I had a lot of fun. We talked about my memorabilia. I'm back into collecting. My second life as a card collector, and I'm having fun. I'm having fun. It's APA. Okay. I couldn't remember. So he used APA. He does the dice rolls, and he inputs it in Digital Diamond. It's a nice presentation. I still can't get used to dice rolling towers when anyone does it. The noise is different to me. I don't know why, but I still listen. I'm not a fan of dice rolling towers. I don't like them. I mean, for me to use. I don't care if someone else uses them. Sometimes they sound really loud when I'm listening at work. People are like, what are you listening to? Listening to someone play a game. What's that noise? It's dice. So, everyone's saying hello. Well, thank you very much. It was a fun chat. For everyone who stayed throughout, awesome. For those who popped in and out, awesome. For those who stopped by and just took a look, thank you. Stay safe, be smart, treat people the way you want to be treated. Greatly appreciate everyone's time. If you enjoyed the stream, smack the like button. Check out all the other wonderful YouTube content creators in our community. The FOC, Friends of the Channel, Friends of the Community. To become a member of the FOC, it's absolutely free. You smack the subscribe button for myself and for members of the community. Share, like, comment, do all that cool stuff. Oh, one last thought. I might be making a Pro Strategy football team of the FOC. So if you'd like to be on the Pro Strategy football team, leave it in the comments on the page, not in the chat, even though I do go back and I try to read chats that I might have missed to see if I missed something. If someone asks a question, I try to answer it. But leave it on the comments, not in the chat, on the comments below later. We'll make a Pro Strategy football team. We'll play against NFL names. It's all fictional. It's all fake, obviously. And we'll see. We'll have some fun. What position you might like to play. Not everyone can play the positions. There's only so many positions. But what we'll do is skilled players will get rotated. So we'll have 2 quarterbacks. We'll rotate them. We'll have a total of 4 running backs. They all get rotated. Receivers will get rotated. And it's for fun. We'll set up a little mini season. And I don't know if I'm going to wait to do that for the 2024 set, but maybe we'll do it with the 2023 set or the game. Because I don't know how. The one thing they need to, for Pro Strategy Football 2024, I hope they explain how to load things better. It's not hard, but it usually changes a little bit each year. And actually, when you download a mod season, which is free, they usually have the notes on how to do it. So follow those notes. And it's a good game, fun game, reasonably priced. All the seasons are free. You can get it on Steam if you want. Check it out. So, yeah, we might do that. That could be a fun little thing going forward. We have lots of projects. Some we finish, some we don't. We have our all-time player greats for the teams tournament going on. I think I'm going to fast forward or quick play the rest of the games so we get to the second round. I think we showed 6 games, 4 to 6 games on the channel. But I think it's a lot of streaming to do all that, and I just don't have time. So I think we'll just fast play those games, auto play, move on to the second round, look for interesting matchups. Obviously, before we start the second round, or maybe we'll do a quick video chat, and I'll say, these are the teams that won. Is it you'd like to see highlights or something? I'm playing the 76 season offline for Pro Strategy Football. I think I'm going to do it in a couple of other different, like 2nd and 10, Action PC Football. I think we'll do it in Strat. I have in Strat PC. And we'll do it offline. And we get close to the playoffs or big games, we'll throw some of those games online. But the playoffs we'll probably throw online, especially if the Patriots make it. Other than that, we always have stuff going on. We have some more boxing coming up. Glory Days boxing. I think I might do a Kenny Bogner, Dooku Kim bout, because I think that would, again, Dooku Kim lost his life in the ring to Ray Mancini. Kenny Bogner had demons that consumed him later in life and during his boxing career. So I think that would be interesting. That would have been another. I like to do what I think are fun TV fights. People will never usually see like Floyd Mayweather Jr. on my channel. Great fighter. Boring fights, most of them. So I like to see fights that I would have liked to have seen. I like to play them out. We'll get back to some, obviously, Glory Days boxing. Title Bout 2 on the PC. I got to get back to Title Bout Championship Boxing, which is a very affordable, fun game. If you're looking for a boxing game and you don't really want it card and dice, and all of these boxing games are excellent. Highly recommend them all. But Title Bout Championship Boxing, I think it's 2013. You can buy it for $13. Thousands of fighters. It's text-based. They got the little animation with the guys hitting each other. Talk about unbelievable. I would love to see something like that with card and dice, where you could still roll your dice, punch in the result, and just see the quick little bibbing. It'd be fun. Legends of Boxing, another fun game. Because someone had asked some good PC boxing games. They're all good games. And if you like card and dice, Glory Days Boxing is fabulous. Our good friend Anthony Crooks. So. Oh, Bernard Strom had a 1950 Red Sox game. Check that out after. And 1912. So shoot over to his channel. Go watch it. Hit the like button and subscribe. Bernard Strom's Sports Replays. I'll be listening to that a little bit later. So. And our good friend Golden Eagle 99. Yes, Glory Days Boxing. Yeah, Bogner, Dooku Kim. I like that. The other one, I don't think I've done it for Glory Days Boxing. I have to check. I don't even think I did it offline. Juan Domingo Roldan Mustafa Hampshow. I did it in Legends of Boxing. I know I've done Frank the Animal Fletcher. I don't think I did with Glory Days Boxing, though. And Mustafa Hampshow. What fights they would have been. Woo! Friendly TV fights. So there you have it. I'm babbling on because I could go on for on and on and on and on and on and on. But thank you very much. Again, check out Bernard Strom's doubleheader, and that's with PC Replay Baseball. 1950, Red Sox was with PC Replay Baseball. 1912, I think, is with Action PC Baseball. So, Bernard Strom Sports Replays. All right. Thank you. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. And peace.